Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Tonight is the last of the series. And like Amber said, the last for the best. And I want to wish Jennipher a pre-happy birthday. Let her know, give her some love down in the comments. She turns 44 tomorrow.
Almost 50.
Oh my gosh. So, before we start, what I'm going to do is read her bio and then we'll get into this. Jennipher Hagenmayer is a network marketing leader, speaker, mentor, and community builder with more than 12 years of experience in the direct selling profession. She began her career in 2014 and spent 10 years with her previous company, where she built an organization of more than 10,000, achieved top leadership ranks, became a six-figure earner, and surpassed 1 million in career earnings. Throughout her career, Jennipher has spoken on stages, hosted leadership trainings, and created communities centered around personal development. She also, from the fun early era of the Lash twins to create a Millionaire Mindset Summit and training philosophy in 2019. So that name has carried her all the way through 2026. And her work has always been rooted in belief that who you become while building the business matters just as much as you achieve. The philosophy has continued to evolve and today lives through MM365, a lifestyle and leadership movement built around the mindset, movement, consistency, and purpose. Pharmacy is Jennipher's fourth network marketing company and her second successful building endeavor. Since joining Pharmacy in 2024, she has achieved platinum, earned recognition within the Legacy Circle Top 100, helped develop organizations across multiple international markets, and generated approximately 6.75 million in lifetime group volume with a historical high approaching 600,000 in group volume. But behind every number is a much bigger story. As a single mom of six, Jennipher has built the business alongside motherhood and through some of the most challenging transitions of her life. During seasons when life felt uncertain, network marketing provided more than just an income. It gave her flexibility, community, purpose, and something positive to continue building. She's often referred to the profession as her beautiful distraction, a place where she could continue, move forward, even when other areas of her life were changing around her. Her faith has remained the foundation of it all. Jennipher believes God can use every season, including the ones we would have never chosen, to develop our character and redirect us toward greater purpose. She credits network marketing as one of the greatest vessels for character development in her own life. Beyond the title, income, trips, or recognition, she believes a purpose driven business can challenge us to discover who we are, develop our gifts, serve other people, and ultimately move closer to our soul's purpose. Today, Jennipher's greatest passion is showing women what is possible through mindset and movement, especially when life requires them to begin again. Her own journey is proof that starting over does not erase everything that came before it. We carry the wisdom, strength, faith, and experience forward. Her philosophy is simple: one day at a time, one step at a time. Keep moving, keep becoming, keep believing that what is about can still be greater than what you left behind. Ooh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And you know what? That is so true. I have to share a little bit before I go in and have Jen talk to us a little bit more about her journey, is that I followed her for the last 10 years as well. I found her on social media years ago, when I was a youngster. And I watched her, and she inspired me so much. If you know Jen, is to love Jen. Every word of that biography is hers. Um, I decided to join her 10 years ago. But then, me not knowing, I left. I kind of went by the sideways. I don't know. I couldn't find myself. And lo and behold, 10 years later, I find her again on social media. And as she said, life throws curves. There's all kinds of stuff happening, going down. She came back full circle. And you know what? I decided to come back full circle and I rejoined with her. So, with that, I'd like to ask you to expound on your journey and give us a little more.
Wow, thank you so much for that intro. I know ChatGPT helped us a little bit with that. Okay, I couldn't have written it without ChatGPT, let's be real. But yeah, you guys, network marketing has been an amazing endeavor, a beautiful distraction, as I've mentioned multiple times, and it's helped me transition throughout my career, my life, my just soul's purpose, as mentioned. And um, I just want to shout out number one, my team here. Clara, you specifically, you're right, 10 years. And that is, again, just another realization that you guys, we all go through different chapters and seasons, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. I do believe that there's no such thing as coincidences. I think that there's divine timing, and if you pay attention, you will either miss it or you will chase it. Opportunity is only good in the season that the opportunity is good. So, I took it upon myself a decade ago, before this company, to take advantage of the opportunity that we all have. If you hear my accolades, you hear my story. I'm just a regular person, just like every single other person that is here on this call or will be on this call in the future. And it's for me personally, it's been a beautiful distraction. And as I mentioned earlier, as I did a second call or earlier call, it's been um, it's been character development. That's what I consider this. I consider network marketing an enhancement endeavor. Okay, it's here to enhance our lives. It's here to enhance who we are at our core for multiple reasons. Number one, you're going to figure out, what you got, who you are on the inside, and you're also going to, make some money on purpose or on accident. And let's be real, you guys, the money is, we could be the root of evil, but what I've found is that money is only evil in the wrong person's hands. So that was another thing that while climbing through the last decade and hitting some of the obstacles that many of us maybe sometimes stumble upon, whether it's why am I here or am I here for the right purposes, that's where the mindset and the personal development came in to aid me in continuing and creating that philosophy of one day at a time. That was actual, real, true advice that was given to me 10 years ago when I went through my divorce, and it's one day at a time. And I've really literally applied those, I mean, I know we're not an AA, but I feel like we're all recovering from something. And that is literally their philosophy, one day at a time. And I added one step at a time, because we are here to move our bodies. And MM365 is that. It's mindset in motion. It's mindset in movement. 365 days from now, where are you going to be? And so, yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys today. I don't know if we mentioned I'm a single mom of 6. This has been, again, I was asked, can a normal everyday person come into this industry right now and have success? And I said yes. Yes, because I'm witnessing it, and I'm also part of that, you guys. And I think everybody here is a part of that. We've not all of us, no one's been here over the 3-year marker. So think about that. And when you're leading your own life, what chapter are you in? What day are you on? And don't compare it to somebody else's day, but take it one day at a time. And I mentioned also earlier, just being, reflective in your journey. A lot of times we forget to just be grateful for where we were and you got to just be grateful for where you were and then focus on where you are right now. But don't forget where we are going. That all requires those steps that I mentioned, taking it one step at a time.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So true. Okay, and before we begin the question segment, I had some lovely friends, mutual friends, reach out and they had a few words that they wanted me to share. Okay. Some people come into our life and quietly become one of your people, and she's absolutely one of mine. My number one since day one, my travel partner, my goal chaser, my motivator, and most importantly, one of my very best friends. She's the one who believes in me, and when I need the reminder, she pushes me. She knows I'm capable of more and celebrates every win right beside me. She's also the one that convinced me to fly across the world to Turkey, watch the sunrise from a hot air balloon, and said yes to memories I'll carry with me forever. I'm so grateful for every dream we've chased, every laugh, every conversation, every adventure, and every version of ourselves we've walked through together. Love you big, my number one. Here's to a lifetime of memories we haven't made yet. Okay,
Oh,
then I have another one to my best friend, my upline, a true leader and one of the greatest mentors I've gained along the way. God knew we needed each other in more ways than one. Jennipher is one of the realest and most honest people I have ever met. She's unapologetically herself. She's taught me how to take my power back in more ways than you can probably even realize or that she even realizes. But one of the greatest things she taught me is true leadership, not leadership based on a title or rank or being the loudest person in the room. She's taught me that real leadership is about how you make people feel, how you show up when nobody's watching, and how you stay beside people through their hard seasons, and how you help someone else see the power within themselves. She created movements, inspired the masses, and interacted countless women, and she's done it from a place of pure intention. Watching her lead has taught me that you can be fierce and still have a huge heart. You can hold people accountable and still love them deeply. You can be powerful without ever making someone else feel small. And in true Virgo fashion, she'll absolutely tell you what you need to hear, whether you're ready for it or not. Somewhere along the line, my upline became my mentor, my safe place, and one of my very best friends. I'm a better leader because of what you've poured into me, but most importantly, I'm a stronger woman because of the friendship we built, and together we'll continue to aspire and inspire one day at a time. And then I have another. What can I say about Jennipher? She is hands down one of the strongest, most determined fighters and leaders I've ever met. I followed her for years before we ever got to where we are today. And even then, her approach to business, mindset, and life inspired me. I've watched her get knocked down, walk through some incredible hard seasons, and continue to rise, grow, and become stronger every single day. She has shown me truly what showing up looks like, especially when life is hard. Jennipher has become so much more than a mentor and leader to me. She's my ride or die, and somehow I know will fight just as hard for the people she loves as she will for herself. One of the things I appreciate most is she saw the leader in me before I ever saw it in myself. She believed in me before I believed in me, and she has an incredible way of bringing you back to center when you're struggling, reminding you of who you are, inspiring you to keep working on yourself and becoming better. She's played such a huge role in my personal growth, not only in my business, not who am I as a woman and a leader. I respect the heck out of her. I trust her. I appreciate her. And I'm so dang grateful that someone I looked up for years became one of my very best friends, someone I get to have in my corner. and then we move on. I've watched Jennipher through the screen for years, following this beautiful, driven, full of life woman who seemed to radiate positivity and motivation in everything she did. I admired her as a mother, a businesswoman, and simply as a person. For a while, I've had the itching to come back, but for some reason, I kept dragging my feet. Looking back now, I thank God he knew exactly why. One day I popped into Jennipher's lives and heard the word she joined pharmacy. That was my sign. Never in a million years did I imagine that when I signed up under her 2 years ago, this woman I had admired from afar would not only become my sponsor and mentor, but somehow I'm lucky enough to call her a true friend. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. When I think about where life has taken me, Jennipher and the incredible people she's brought together through the MM family. Um, she's touched my life in more ways than I could ever put into words. I'm so very blessed. And besides someone I watched and admired, I may be away right now serving our country. That gave it away, huh? And I'm definitely sad I won't be there with all of you at convention, but I know you're going to have the most incredible time just knowing I'll be cheering you on from afar. Jennipher, I hope you have the happiest birthday. I hope today reminds you just how deeply loved and appreciated you are and how many lives you've touched and changed, encouraged, inspired simply by being you. You have created so much more than a business or a team. You've created friendship, confidence, opportunities, memories, and a place where people feel like they belong. I am so grateful you're one of those people. Is one of those people is me. Happy birthday, Jennipher. I love you so much. Okay. Then, what I most admire about Jennipher is the way she leads with so much love and support. I've never had a leader who had a gift for making every single person feel valued, seen, supported in their own business journey. The heart she has for her team is something really special. She's managing her own business, her own life, yet somehow still makes space for all of us. And I know that's not an easy task. She has been the spirit about her makes you feel comfortable, valued, and never feel like you're just another person on the team. You feel like you matter. And to me, that's what makes her such an incredible leader because Jennipher, I become a better version of myself in this business. Her leadership has taught me that you don't have to be one of the loudest people in the room to make impact. Sometimes the greatest impact simply comes from making people feel seen, valued, and supported. But most importantly than that, whenever I'm with or around her and just talking to her, I feel this big sister kind of love and energy from her. And beyond the business, that's something I'll always treasure.
Oh my gosh, like what can I even say after that? Like I love you guys, number one. My cheeks hurt and I'm trying to not be embarrassed. I don't know, when you get like nice things said to you, it's like, oh my gosh, I love you guys, seriously. And everything you see in me is just a reflection of, what I see in each one of you guys, seriously. And that's what makes a difficult task to be so many places at once and for so many other people just by simply seeing yourself in other people, like I know one of those messages, I know that was Kayla, okay? Like seeing leadership in other people, you guys, it is a skill, it's a gift, but it's the secret sauce also to network marketing, to building anything. And we talked about that at ANMP. It's literally the philosophy of creating your own ecosystem. Okay, so that's kind of where that I think overall perspective of who I am is. It's just really, guys, finding the beauty in other people, helping them be in a place of power, and if it wasn't network marketing, it'd be something else, being able to see what somebody else is good at. Network marketing just ends up being an amazing uh, I don't want to say the word endeavor again, but I'm gonna endeavor that pathway for success. And I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. And everything, every word of that was so true. So,
Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
Okay, let's get into some questions here. Okay, Jen, can you describe how you've developed leadership skills in others?
I think I just mentioned that a little bit, and it's literally putting people in a place of power. It is seeing in them before they see it. It's being a visionary. And it's not to say that we are born to be visionaries, but through personal development, through the skill set that's required to have success in network marketing, you're going to have to figure it out. And this that's how you do it.
No, you've done a great job of that. I'm a testament to that. Absolutely. Number
Mhm.
two, in what ways have you fostered innovation within your team?
Again, I mean, it's all back to everybody else. Network marketing is about everybody else. So it's reach down to go up. Know thyself, know thy people. And it is network marketing, network. What are you going to do with your network? Whether it's your team or it's your audience, it's knowing your people, knowing your people, and then putting them in a place of power, finding the untapped into potential, and also leading by example. I think that that's underrated. I've mentioned this numerous times now. Somebody's got to go first. And that's what true leadership is. And not everybody is intended or designed or wants or desires to be a leader, but everyone can be, because you lead yourself. You lead yourself first. Okay? So that's first and foremost. It's kind of just giving people permission to lead themselves. And leading yourself means pouring into yourself. And that's something that's been taken away from us a lot of times, whether we're maybe in a bad relationship or we have a negative environment. I see it all the time. I see people step away from their drive and their ambition and their dreams. And it was only through personal development was I able to combat all of the roadblocks that I knew were going to come. I like to know, how they say, hope for the best, plan for the worst. That's the same thing. You're going to have negativity. Boom, personal development. That's the antidote. You know that you're going to, whatever. What is the antidote? And that's kind of my philosophy as well. Because, guys, life is going to life. So, how are we going to combat that? Network marketing is going to network market. It's not going anywhere. So are we going to be part of that? And if not this, then what? And if I'm going to look at my options, I'm going to choose network marketing every single time. God, so give me the ability to do so. Nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, nothing wrong with anything else that maybe even has more security. But listen, no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. So, this business has been a godsend, and it's also been empowering, and it's also been an opportunity to grow. And I could quit today and be satisfied and still walk away from this industry saying it works and it does what it's intended to do if you do what you're intended to do. So really it's all up to us. We have the opportunity to make the most of this situation. And yes, will there be things that we don't agree with or we do not like? All the time. But your tunnel vision and what you want, just like I said, know your people, know thyself. What do you want? And how are you going to get there? Because the only way to get there is to go through it. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. You got to go through it. And anybody that tries to go all the other ways, they don't last. That's why I'm here for 12 years, guys, because I go through it. Hard days, easy days, fun days, boring days. And really, it's literally taking each day at a time and just trying to be better than who you were yesterday. And in this profession, better than who you were last month, right? Because we know that every single month we get a fresh slate. And you can either look at that like it's like debilitating, like, oh man, another month, or you can look at that like it's empowering, oh man, another month. I can beat last month. And if you're just always trying to beat 1% better, then guess what happens after one day at a time? You're going to be 365% better in a year based on what you do. So I love this industry because as much as it is a team effort, there's no team if you don't start with yourself. yourself and the team that you create within your daily method of operation. Like I have got a morning routine. I've got a routine for when I'm not on my morning routine. I've got a routine for when I'm not on my morning routine and not on my default routine. You know what I'm saying? You got to have like routines that you can always fall back on. Everything is foundation. That should be the most empowering thing that you hear tonight. It's all information. All of this is experience. You're just building. I mentioned a lot of times looking at your days as bricks or pebbles, pebbles in a jar. How many pebbles before your jar is filled? And so I just take every single win and I put it in my jar. And if there's a loss, that's okay. There's more wins than there are losses. Isn't there space in between each pebble? Yeah, there is when you put them in there. That's the losses. But your pebbles, make them bigger, make them stronger.
Wow, I love that. And isn't it more like 16 years you've been
I
in
was
the
like, I just did that interview with Tom Chenault. You guys got to go check it out. I will. It was supposed to be live, and then it wasn't live for whatever reason. So it was
yeah.
just him and I, which was kind of cool because there was no comments disrupting. But yeah, I was going over how long have I been in the industry. I keep saying 10 years. Oh, I've been adding years since I said that. So I would say it's been. I started with my first success story in 2014, I think, with Unique, as you guys know, and stayed there for about a decade. We've been here for 2.5 years. And before Unique, I had 2 years of just random companies. One was a jewelry company, another being Beachbody. Talk about full circle. Okay, both of those were just they were again experiences. They were the part of the building blocks. They were what gave me belief. I didn't make any money with Beachbody. I did it for the discount. But with Sell and Dot, which was the jewelry company, I did make some money. I did have a team. There were 6 people. I was there for about a year. My highest paycheck there was $800, and I was like, hell yes. If I can make anything over $500, I am sold. You guys, I watch people try to make $500. I would, before network marketing, I would dream about having $500 in a month's time. I would sell clothes on Craigslist. I watched little kids in my neighborhood. I sold my baby's clothing on eBay, like anything that I could do, because again, there's that independence factor that I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom or not. We want to have a little bit of extra cash here and there, and we don't want to have to ask. We don't want to have to always ask. I don't want to have to ask. So network marketing can provide even without a team. You can make a commission. You can make a commission, and that's still empowering because it's all up to us. I mentioned you earlier, Amber, and this quote just still sticks, and it will probably forever. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And that doesn't mean that we do this alone, but it kind of does, because if you don't put yourself out there, you're gonna be alone. I mentioned earlier in my interview, it's like I'm just Jen. I had 150 friends on social media. I didn't have Instagram. We didn't have TikTok. I was locked down. 150 friends. When I heard, gotta be public, I clicked the public button. When I heard I gotta be out there, I made videos. We did not have Facebook Live. I had to use that horrible what is it? The iMovie. That was so hard to
Mhm.
edit. If you can edit with iMovie, I know that you can do Reels or TikTok because they made everything easier. 14 years ago, it was not as easy as it is now.
And you mentioned something interesting that, not interesting, but talking about longevity. So you went to Y years ago, but you stayed there 10 years. You
Mm-hmm.
stayed there 10 years with your team through ups and downs, with
Many.
where you see now in social marketing, MLM, even affiliates,
Mm-hmm.
people tend to leave and run to the next, what they consider best thing. But
Yeah.
you're in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. And that's just logical, guys. Like sometimes we're chasing highs and we're chasing dopamine and we're chasing the next best thing or shiny ball syndrome. But let's get logical. And I've mentioned this numerous times. It's like as women, we are emotional. Thank you, Lord, right? I want to have emotions. I want to have empathy. I want to have things that men don't have. But the one thing that men have that we don't tend to lean into is our logic. And it's only until that's a skill set that is required in order to make conscientious decisions in your business, in your life, that you can really start embracing that. Okay, so when I cry, because I cry all the time, I cry for a minute and then I get back to my logic. Okay, cry, this is so hard in comparison to what? Okay,
go live because I'm embarrassed of what? Like every fall back to logic. And if that's difficult, write down what's logical. If I don't show up every day, it's not happening. If I don't create, it's not happening. If I don't have a default method of operation that's consistent, consistency is key, then I'm not going to get to where I deserve to be, where I promised myself I would be, where my, support system is hoping that I get to, until, because you listen, people will start to, not support you if you keep on restarting, if you keep on not holding your word, if you don't have results. And that's just the reality of it. So I like to coach, and you guys have, I'm sure, heard me numerous times, working backwards. Go get your testimony. Some of us come into this profession and we just want that $500 that we don't have. So let me ask you this. If you don't have it, you're not missing out on anything by going and achieving the results, meaning being a product of the product, going first, because that's what that means, and creating the testimony. I wanted to be a testimony. Earlier, they asked me a similar question, and I said, who are you? How did you start? Yeah, with 150 friends, with no, I had no experience or no knowledge, but I just showed up every single day as a coachable individual. That's another key thing. Are you coachable? Okay. Is your team coachable? But are you coachable? You have to ask yourself, am I coachable? Am I willing to listen to somebody else's opinion, and also not even just listen, observe? Because some of us don't have mentorship. That's just the reality. Sometimes we've got to go in pursuit of. I've been in this industry for a long time. For the majority of it, I did not have a leader. And even when I did have a leader, she was at the same level as me. So it's like, you have to go out in pursuit of cultivating skill, and also just having that burning desire. And in order to have the burning desire, it's staying very close to like your vision, your why. Why are we doing this? And if you can figure out why you're doing this and be logical and be all those amazing perspectives that were said about me at the beginning of this, you got some amazing opportunities. It's about giving back, but you also got to give to yourself, you guys, because again, going first. If you don't have the results, if you're not doing it, even when you're in the middle of it, let me not just say that you have to be done in order to come back. Okay. But you got to be at least giving it your effort. And after 30 days, yeah, you can come back and help somebody on day number 1. Look at it that way. You don't need to be at year number 10 or this status or have made your $500 or $800 or $5,000 or whatever, but you can always teach. And the moment that we understand that everything that we are doing is an example, then you're going to hold yourself responsible. Because if you didn't show up today, what example are you showing? You're showing the example that you don't have to. When you put a lot more accountability on yourself, that's why I said that if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Because I think that we've talked a lot over the last decade. I know I have. It is team. That's what network marketing is. It's about a team effort. A lot of people doing a little bit. But if you're not even doing your part, trust and believe, there's not going to be a little people wanting to do anything that what you're doing. And that's just, again, logic, you guys. So if you're ever looking at your business and you're like, I'm not where I want to be, before you just, say this isn't meant for me, look at your own behavior, look at your own consistency, and then decide. That's that plan, do, review, decide what needs to be changed. What can I, and that's again, being able to pivot. Because some people I see, they don't want to. They'll come to me and they'll say, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm like, okay, well, let's go down the list of 5 freaking things that you need to do. Is your page public? Because if it's not, I'm already going to tell you the reasons why. Is your page public? Because if it's not, your store's closed. Okay. Do you have clarity in your content? A ring light is less than $100. If the answer is no, these are, again, going to be reasons why you're not succeeding. Are you getting on the calls? Are you invested in the community? Are you going and staying close to the fire? If the answer is no, then okay, I've already got 3 reasons why you're not having success. And if you can take that accountability just right there, I haven't even got to the next 2 things, right? Are you doing your 333? Are you doing lives? Are you doing reels? Are you doing what's working? Are you doing what's working? And if the answer is no, then yeah, you got to look at yourself. And that's just the reality. Because sometimes we want to blame other people. And that's just that doesn't work. You can't blame anybody else. It's really, but the beautiful thing is at the end of this, you will end up believing in yourself in a way that in a way that you could not obtain until you live through it, until you do it yourself. That's why you see the most successful people having that energy, because they've already done it, you guys. That's why I'm so big about like, go and do it so that you can come back, but also be able to bring people on the journey when you're in the messy middle, when you're at that vulnerable beginning. And then at the end, when it's time to celebrate, don't you dare forget where you came from.
Woo! Yeah. I love those 5 reminders. That's so true. So very true. I mean, we look at 2.5 years ago, you left your company to come here, and you did it scared because you had been there for so long, and you're one that talks about longevity and legacy and staying put, but it was the time that it had to happen. You came here not bringing really anyone with you, but you showed up every single day. That's where I saw you. That's where I saw you, and you brought the energy. So yeah, I love that. All of that is just so relevant.
And let me just say, Clara, had I not had a decade of showing up, the transition would not have been as smooth. I will tell you that, because you're right. I did not go and uh recruit with the intention to, like, I did not, because when I did, and I'm always going to be honest, I came from my last company. Of course I had leaders that were alongside of me, and we're always taught, there's no poaching, there's no, you leave with, we've been taught that. But I did mention when I was leaving to my leaders, which we are allowed to do, to speak to our directs, and I got a little lip back. Okay, I got a little lip back 2.5 years ago. It was a different scenario in the world, and I got a little lip back, and that turned me out. That deterred me. I said, no, you know what? I ain't no way. No, somebody's gonna come and say that I'm, trying to steal this, that. I said, no, I'm not. I came in with my 5 people, and then after that, I just did exactly what I'm telling you guys needs to be done. I was consistent. I went live every single day. I hit the ground running, and that's the thing, you guys. If you are new here, hit the ground running. I was talking to you, Clara, earlier, right? It's like you gotta just the beginning of the decision, whether you're making one now or later, or you already have, that first 3 months is imperative that you stay more consistent than you ever have. If you've proclaimed that I am reinventing myself, that I am switching companies, that I am choosing to hold myself accountable, then really truly do that. And don't, on the day when you're like, oh, I've done it for a week. Like, I'm talking, guys, 3 months. And after 3 months, plan, do, review, and then add another 3 months. And now you're at 6 months, and now you're at 9 months. And now you are at that 365, at that 1 year marker. And I've been telling my girls for the last decade, give it a year. Remember, Clara used to be like, a year. No, you have to. Number one, you got to give 90 days to the products. Now that we're in wellness, how without even being a product of the product and having your testimony that these things work, do you expect for other people to just? The only reason why I was able to have this success is because of the decade of consistency and the tried and true performance that I had cultivated. So you guys can start your year number 1 at any time, and then take it and just be consistent. I know life is going to life, and that's why that's why the 365 representing 30 minutes, 6 wins, 5 days a week. I said 5 days a week because I want to be realistic. Is it 5 days? For me, it's 8. Okay. It's 8. I move my body every single day. I check in with my business. I don't let my stories expire. I do something for my business every single day. But 5 days a week, you guys, I recommend to the hobbyist, to the person just getting started, is to just, if you're going to spend the time and you're going to dream, then let's have a roadmap to make the dream come true, because the dream, it's just a dream. It's just a wish without the roadmap, without manifestation. Y'all, I think they brainwashed us into thinking you could just sit here and be like, I am. No, I am plus I'm doing the action. I am plus. That's how it needs to be.
Yeah, it's so, so true. And I had somebody ask me to ask you directly, speaking to all the mamas out there with little kids in the house, how do you do it? How do you get through each day? How do you build a network when you've still got small children? I mean, you've got 6. You have some in
Mhm.
college and you have 2 babies at home still. How do you
Yes.
do it? How do you manage your time? So someone did ask me to ask you that. They wanted to know, just to let everyone know how you've done that. Because even back in 2014, 15,
Hmm.
ones that are grown were little then.
Yes. And I've been uh with the children the whole time. And I would say organized chaos. Like whatever season you are in, take advantage of it. If the kids are a little bit older, you got some more time. If they're younger, like I've had, Benjamin just turned 4 years old. It's getting a little bit easier. Penelope just went to school. Now I got one at home instead of two under two. That was crazy. I know Amber knows. Okay. It's like 2 of them. One's going right, one's going left. I mean, I can only do what I can do. So be realistic, be kind to yourself, but again, have those non-negotiable daily method of operation. I do not let my stories expire. I make sure I'm doing something for my business. I'm always making content, even when I'm not making content. You guys put your phone to the side, have some B-roll content. You just have to get so consistent that it again, it's an enhancement opportunity. This is to enhance your life. If I'm doing my makeup anyways, I'm going to record it. If I'm going to do my workout, I'm going to record it. If I'm going to have my drink, I'm going to record it. So really just, I feel like it's a lot more stressful to think about all the reasons why you can't do it instead of all the reasons why you can. So I stay, and of course I've got an amazing supportive team. And that's again very imperative, you guys. If you really putting people in a place of power means it's not all about you. Okay. And if it's not all about you, then there you go. That's your first step in network marketing. It can't be all about you. There cannot be just one star. There needs to be a multitude of people having success. And that's why I don't like to say that you need to have, this status, that status. I look at it more like that $500 is life changing. Once you get your $500, now you've got empowerment in yourself, confidence in yourself, and you can 10x that. When we say 333, heck, 666, 999, 12 12 12. When we say, add 5 friends a day, girls, I would add up until I would get restricted. So I just do what I can. And if there's a day when I wasn't able to do what I want, it's always going to be my best. That's one rule. Do your best, which means you need to also be accountable for what you're doing in your free time. And only you know that. Only you know that. You're either going to go and scroll hole, or maybe you're going to Netflix and chill, or you're going to go out and drink on the weekends and talk about I'm in wellness on a Monday. No, you got to be really authentic, for real, and bring people on that journey. And listen, if you can't, then you tell them. I can't. I went live today. I haven't been live in quite some time. During this transition, you guys, for the last 2.5 years, I got to tell you, it's been brutal. It's been ugly. I don't bring all of that because that's not my purpose. My purpose here is to showcase, the messy middle and the positive perspective, not with toxic positivity, but just to show the real and the raw. And then again, I take my own advice. I come back after, and when we came here, I had to see what the heck pharmacy was all about. I worked really hard. I went to the corporate opening, which was only like 6 or 7 weeks after we joined. I needed to see it. Did I need to go? No. Nobody was forcing me to go. You didn't earn it. You had to go pay your own way, and you went, and I went, and I saw what I needed to see. And then that's important too, guys. If you are not going to convention, please try your hardest to make an effort to get there. You have to, because seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. And if you don't believe in the products, in the opportunity, in the people, then it's not going to come off. It's not going to translate over the way that you want it. So, and I mentioned this on the earlier call as well, what Sanat had said, this particular company has a vision, has a method of operation. And he said, if you can't align with that, like in the way that you need to align, seriously, guys, and this should be a very easy company to align with. We've got wellness, we've got makeup, we've got hair care, we got everything for a woman and self-care. Okay. And if you take care of yourself, Lord knows that you are going to pour into everybody else. So it's a win-win situation. Also, the more you invest into yourself, the more you're able to invest into other people. I forget what the question was with that. So hopefully I answered it.
Yeah, you did. You did. It was about having kids at home and
Oh
how
yeah. You know what? Just
all
do what you
happened.
can. I got a kid on the lap sleeping, baby Shane. I got Benjamin and Penelope. I mean, I gotta hide. Okay. I gotta hide. But now today I did go live. Benny, he was sitting there chilling. He was hanging out. I said, okay. So I'll be live a lot more often just because that's the chapter season that I'm in. But in the days when I couldn't really do that, guys, I did everything else that I could do. So it just, again, it's like you got to have a little bit of faith too. You got to have faith. When you start losing faith in your, you know, I don't want to say soul's purpose, but I do want to say soul's purpose, because I probably would not be here if it was not within my soul's purpose. Like, I do need to be aligned with what I'm doing. And once I'm aligned, it doesn't matter if there's a bad day, because there's going to be a bad day. You think you're going to be aligned every single day? You think especially when it comes to high level leadership. Oh my God. It is not easy. I heard Amber say it earlier on the call. It is not easy. It is not easy. That's why also it's imperative that you have people also winning with you, so that it's more fun. Maybe not easy, but more fun. And fun fun makes it worth it. Make it worth it. Make it worth it. That's another way that I stay motivated. Make it worth it. If I'm going to not show up, I'm not going to probably execute my self-care routine, right? Like, I consider these products a tool to keep me accountable for what I got to do to live the best version of myself. And the best version of myself is for my kids. See, it all goes back to my why. For my kids. When I had my last child at almost 40 years old, a month before I turned 40, and even further back with Penelope, who was 2 years before that, I was nearly 40 years old. I mean, I hadn't had a child since I was, I think, 35 or 34 with Shane. I thought, oh, I'm done. 34. I'm not having no more after 35. So, they say cut it off at 35. And then I went on to have two more anyways. And yeah, just, taking these products, enhancing my situations, and then showing up, being vulnerable, and bringing people on that journey. Because there are so many other women that are in the same position that each one of you guys are in. We all have a story. You're either an empty nester, maybe you're single, you're married, you've got family, you don't got family. This does provide a pathway for everybody. And I love that. It doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your experience. I love that it's for everybody. And now, more recently, we can even bring men involved in this. So that's cool too.
Wow.
They might bring some logic.
I'm looking at your whiteboard in the back. It looks like you've been busy. Look at that, charting everything out.
It doesn't even need to end. Well, my kids started to delete some of it, but 503, 333. We've got our non-negotiables, DMOs, inspirational posts, real with a product, and a lifestyle. Those are my non-negotiables. When I can't think, guys, at minimum, inspiration, because there's too much negativity. Okay. We are professional hope brokers through our own experiences. If you're having a shitty day, how'd you make it positive? And then go tell that story. Don't just say, I had a shitty day. I got a flat tire. Okay, bye. No, it's like, oh my gosh, got a flat tire, was able to watch the sunset. How awesome. Somebody awesome stopped by and helped me. Like, there's always a story. So anyways, an inspirational of some sort an inspirational story, a reel with a product. Because of course, again, I'm not just on social media to be like, oh, look at me. Like, no. Okay. It's like, where's the product that helps me say, look at me? And somebody asked what my lippy was earlier, and it is actually this clear one. Does it have a name? Mirror, mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And then a lifestyle opportunity. Obviously, if you're not talking about the lifestyle as in the opportunity, as in the transformation that you're experiencing, nobody's going to even know what the hell you're doing and why you're doing it. So those are like the non-negotiable things. Try to weave those in. Again, everything is about the compound effect. If you guys have been with me, I refer to that Atomic Habit book and the Compound Effect book. It is literally, I want like almost a Bible for how to execute anything consistently. Create routines, utilize tools that help you mentally stay in routine. If I'm going to go move my body for 30 minutes, I'm going to have a product that helps me move my body and a recovery product that helps me after I've moved my body. So that's that. Again, it's just all about enhancement. If we were not here, guys, if I was like, if I loved, I don't even know these other companies that are out there. I mentioned 31. That's the only one I could think of. If I love 31 bags, I'd be over there showcasing the bags in the different ways. I'd be going to the pool. Look at this bag. I actually had a cooler from them. I'd be on the airplane. Look at how I'm able to travel. I would show them all of my bathroom. You just take what you're passionate about, what you love, and then you show them how you use it. And that's just really on repetition, on repeats, how you're going to build that consistent action that then guess what? That is just the cultivation of character, AKA you are what you do every single day. Next thing you know, you're 365 days later, and you are not the same person. You don't look the same. You don't act the same. You don't think the same. And hopefully your money ain't the same,
Yeah, very good. I believe that's the end. You've done, and I got to go listen to that podcast. I know they put it somewhere on Facebook.
I'll reshare. It's on YouTube, and it's also I don't think anybody here is specifically close. Amber, if you want to fly in, they're going to be in DC. I have no idea. This was the coolest show, but he's going to be in DC advocating for network marketing, right? Remember Amber and ANMP, they were talking about that, something like that. Anyways, that's coming up in a couple weeks. He was going to get me the dates, but how cool would that be? Anybody wants to come in, why not? We're going to be apparently knocking on senators' doors and talking about network marketing and sharing our testimonies. Wow. He also said all of us can actually participate in this. I forget what the website is, but as soon as I find it, you can go to this website and you can do your testimony. And then we're going to be sharing those testimonies. I don't know with the senators or just in general. I have no idea, but something cool is coming of that. And that'd be really an experience. Again, I think that one of the things that keeps me passionate about network marketing, that keeps me going, because I think that's the real thing that people like, how do I keep going? Not how do you do it? How do you keep going? You guys, you just keep going because number one, you decide, you commit, succeed. That again is a logical way to look at it. Okay. I don't want to convince you. I want to give you logic. You got to decide, then you commit, and you will succeed. And that is a promise. And I don't think that there's a lot of things that can be promised and actually are tangible. I promise you, you will transform. You will change if you execute a routine with these tools in repetition. You will have results. You will change, and other people will see it. They will witness it because you are doing your daily method of operation, which one of them is showing a little blimp into your life. A little blimp. You don't need to be online 24/7. You don't need to be chronically online. Sometimes I'm online a lot because you know what? I'm in that season. And I'm not gonna miss out on the opportunity. And then guess what? You can, and it's a marathon. And there are sprints in the marathon. Don't ever think that you gotta have to go every single day for forever. No, guys, I just went through hell of a transition. And there were days when I was on the ground and I wasn't able, but I did my bare minimum. I did my, even a decade ago when I went through my divorce, do you think that was easy? Do you think that I wanted to show up with a smile on my face? Especially that divorce was insane, guys. Like I literally overnight, a 17-year relationship went kaput. And the reason why I went kaput is because I was doing personal development and I was not going to stand for somebody treating me the way that I was treated, to be quite honest. And I would do it again. And I did do it again. And I will do it again. You guys don't keep people in your circle that aren't in your corner. Okay. Don't keep them in your circle if they are not in your corner. And you'll figure that out real quick through personal development because this is growth. We grow or we stay stagnant. Personal development will help you grow as a person, push you further. It will eliminate the necessity for external validation. You won't need that. And that's where I want everybody to be. You are a star. You are amazing. Yes, the applause are amazing. Yes, all the accolades. But at the end of the day, when you close that door, are you happy with you? You know, that's the other thing. And especially if you've got a big family like myself or Amber, we are doing it for our family. Don't get so caught up in work that you forget to enjoy why you are working so hard. That 365 is intentional, you guys. I don't want you, every day, unless you want to. I'm a go-getter. That's who I am. That's how I operate, and I love it. So do what you love. I'm grateful that I have that love because it makes it a little bit easier for me. But trust and believe there are parts of this business that I don't love, that I had to dig deep because the logic. I didn't want to go live. I didn't even want to do that interview today. And if you ask Amber, because I was a little bit rusty, dusty, I went to ANMP and I was like, they're asking me this, that. I had to be on stage, right? And and guys, I've been on many stages. I've done a lot of scary shit, but I was rusty. And that's just the reality. But thank God my foundation, because muscle memory is real. The real muscle memory and the muscle memory of the time when you were confident, of the time when you were empowered, and the time when you felt good. If you can just keep to that feeling, okay, and go back to that feeling. That's why, again, meditation is important. Manifestation meditation, when you sit and you think, and that's really hard for me, but important. It's to shut it down. And I took 5 days off. If you guys didn't notice, that's okay. You wouldn't notice because I show up so consistently when I'm not. It's not that big a deal. And that's where I want you guys to go. But that's a decade plus. That's a decade plus. I would never have done that. I went live for almost 3 years straight. That I didn't, if it was, I think I took off Christmas. But if I was on vacation at the beach, guess what? I'm setting up my live talking about, hey, I get to be at the beach. And now I'm going to go and hang out with my family. Just like when I did this call, I was in my car and Tom was like, what are you doing there? I was in my car. I said, oh, I'm sitting in my car because if I was not in the car, my kiddos would be here, here, here. And then he said, you know what would you say to a person that was coming into this profession for the very first time? Could they have success? They have no experience. I said, yes, they could because I've done it. I'm watching it and I'm doing it again. You guys, and that's based on the muscle memory. Everything that you've learned, consider it experience. That's it. It's not it's don't think of I haven't got there yet. Look at how many days you've clocked. So write it down, check it off, celebrate yourself. This Celebration Nation, whether you are tuning in or not, celebrate with yourself. That reward system again, I'm thinking it's my birthday tomorrow. What am I gonna celebrate? What am I gonna do for myself? Because you've done a lot of work, guys. All of us showing up is not easy. You already signing up have done something that freaking 90% of the world wishes they had the courage to do. And that is the truth. Don't ever give those people the power to knock you off the pedestal that you put yourself on. I don't want to say you're better than those people, but you are better than those people. You're stronger than those people. You think different than those people. So don't categorize yourself in those, in that circle of we're weird or we're X, Y, and Z. And that happens to me sometimes. I know me and Amber have talked about this. I didn't realize how many people thought that we were like weird. 2020 kind of opened it up for us. Social selling and this, that, and the other made it easier. But guys, for the decade before that, before 2020, we were showing up as the weirdos. Now they're all wondering, they're not thinking that we're weird. They're just wondering which way I'm going to go. So be that person that stays consistent, I don't know what the quote is, but what is the quote, Amber? It's like, I don't know if it's like you stay till the end or just longevity in it. It's basically, you guys, don't get distracted, stay focused. And I promise you, you're writing your own story. You're writing your own story. That should be empowering. You show up, you're going to have consistency, you're going to have confidence. You don't show up, you're going to be inconsistent, you're not going to have confidence. And then the real truth is, ain't nobody gonna believe you. Just do it until. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Until. And there's no end. There's no end. It's no, because if you're doing life right, you're always growing. I don't want to ever be stagnant. I never want to get stuck. And a growth-oriented person is just 1% better. One more habit, one more skill, 10,000 hours down on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. That's how long it takes to cultivate a skill. 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours of going live before it ain't no thing. I've done my 10,000 hours since I've been at pharmacy now. I'm not the same person 2.5 years ago. I was broken I was broken and broke when I came here in many, many ways. And it took me 10,000 on 10,000 on 10,000 on top of the 10,000 on 10,000. So yes, you can always start over. You can always make a decision, but everything that you've done was never in vanity. It is there to create experiences so that you can cultivate the wisdom. You guys, wisdom is taking the experience, plan, do, review, and then applying. So don't be afraid to apply, no matter where you are in your journey.
Ooh, this was a fire interview. I enjoyed it so much. I think you, oh, amazing. You gave me
Thank
the
you.
chills. Gave me the chills. And Amber, do I have time to just do a closing?
Of course.
Okay.
I know. I
But
I feel like we're running late, huh?
no, this was an amazing call. Look at all the love. Look at all the fire going
I
up.
love all of you guys. Seriously,
Amazing.
really, truly, this community has been so. People are looking for something like this. They really, really are. So don't ever feel like you are alone. Just go find your people. They're out there. I promise you. The more that you elevate and you grow and you cultivate your skills and you get better, the better quality people will even be attracted to you. So if you're looking around, you're like, there ain't nobody. It's probably because you haven't grown yet. So that's another thing when putting it on yourself. I'm big about putting stuff on yourself because it's hard, you guys. Like, but at least at minimum, you can, you ain't got nobody else to blame but yourself a lot of times,
So true.
all the time.
Woo. Okay. And as always, I end with a millionaire mindset. You know, this is the last of the series, and I just want to give a heartfelt thanks to Jen and Amber for allowing me to do this, spotlighting leaders. I've learned so much. I hope you guys have picked up nuggets as well. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Tonight marks my final, I don't know why.
Oh, don't do that to us, Claire, because you ain't going nowhere, okay, girl? But you're making me emotional now because
The
you've
word
done
final,
amazing.
the word final, just, I don't know. Okay. Um, in this Leader Spotlight series is what an incredible journey it's been. I've absolutely loved creating space where women could share their stories, their vision, their leadership, and their inspiration behind what keeps them moving forward. Every woman who sat in the spotlight brought something different, but each reminded us of the power of believing in ourselves and believing in one another. To every leader who said yes to me, every woman who showed up to listen, every person that supported, cheered, and encouraged and cheered us on, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And this series was never about interviews. It wasn't. It was about giving women a place to be seen, heard, celebrated, and reminded that their story has value. So tonight, as we close this chapter, I'm incredibly grateful for every conversation, every lesson, and every connection we've all made along the way. The interviews may be ending, but the vision, the inspiration, and the impact continue. Now, let's make this final leadership one to remember. Love you all and thank you.
Love you, Clara. We love you and appreciate you. You have made this amazing. And this is not the last time. We're on pause for a minute, okay? We'll see you again. But thank you so much. And Amber as well. This has been an amazing series. I know that she would agree. We all love, Clara, it would not have been the same without you. So as amazing as everybody has been, honey, you have brought this whole thing together. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. You are the best interviewer I have ever met, and that includes even the professional interviewers out there. You are
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
Seriously.
Amazing. You do so good. You can bring out things in people that they maybe been pushing down.
Yeah.
You got a gift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Bye.